morning, everyone. Today is April 7th, and for the Chinese philosophy today, we'll be discussing the art of war and Zongheng, which is the horizontal and vertical alliances school, or sometimes called the school of persuasion. And we'll be discussing it as it pertains to what's happening around us. So I see a pretty funny thing happening. A number of years ago, it was neocons and conservatives who were for war. Now they're against it, and all the Trump supporters feel betrayed, and the alt-right feels betrayed, and meanwhile the liberals, which used to be against war, are all for attacking the Assad regime. So or at least the corporate leftists are. So what's going on? It's probably pretty confusing for most of you. I know I saw a video of Alex Jones this morning. He feels completely betrayed. Donald Trump's a sellout, the NWO, all that kind of thing. Well, first of all, the New World Order is always still going. Like they're always in charge. The question is, which camp of it is roughly leading? And it seems like a different camp right now. They're looking at the situation, and they want to strengthen their control. They don't like the strategy that was being used before, and so they're clearly using a different strategy. What is that strategy? Well, before they were doing things like propping up rebels and undermining the government there in Syria. And of course, Russia was stepping in and saying, no, this will not happen, this will not happen, we will keep the government in play. And then they started getting bold enough to fly airplanes right by our ships. Don't ask me why Syria in particular is the linchpin of this little move on the chessboard, but here's what's happened. I don't know who gassed who. I just know that it's obviously a setup. Now, was it set up by super elites? Was it set up by the Trump people? Was it set up by the deep state? Is it a trap for Trump to walk into? These things you cannot know yet. Here's what you can know. The situation is being used as a means to bomb the government there as a way of asserting the position. So before you had Russia's coming down here. I'm going to use my head as the linchpin, coming down here and carving out, and then you had the West coming, and then they were having to form kind of a hollow and go around them and control all this down here in the lower Middle East. Well, this is a dig back in to take that back. That's all. It's a strategic move. It's about jockeying for who is going to have the shirt in the area, who is going to control probably the flow of oil. And this jockeying is a surgical strike. The president informed Russia it was going to happen. Russia is not going to do anything because it's not worth having world war over. They're not trying to have world war. They're trying to jockey for strategic configuration of power. They're sure. Now, as far as the vertical and horizontal alliances go, these kinds of things are always at play. They're always very intricate. Common people like you and I are not allowed to have enough information to know with who are these various threads and strands tied from one who to who. We don't know. You don't know which intelligence agencies are working for or with foreign governments. You don't know which factions of the country are in support of the president, which ones aren't. And inside, having been inside, I can tell you it's multifaceted. There's no way for you to know, like you can't paint the entire NSA or the entire CIA to be all the same throughout the whole thing. So it's back to exactly what I was talking about before the campaigns and the election, which is reversion, everything being turned inside out and upside down. It's probably going to appear to be very confusing. Try not to be drawn in by these movements of a game that is played on the level that you're not involved in. I mean, this is for mega resources, commodities, trades, financial control, currency reserve. These kinds of things are played way out there in the left field. Don't let it decenter what you got going on in your life. You should absolutely care who was gassed and why. and you should care about people dying. But in all honesty, it'd be much better for a president to bomb a government and an Air Force base than it is for us to be bombing civilians and propping up the bombing of civilians. So it's kind of ironic. People feel, quote, betrayed on the alt-right, but it's a very different thing than what Obama was doing. Now, Obama already was bombing Syria. More than 12,000 bombs were dropped in 2016 alone on Syria. So this is not new. And if it's new to you, then you weren't paying attention, or you're being selective and rose-colored glasses about the world. This empire is what gives you the opportunity to have ease and luxury, to not have bombs here, because of the way that the buffer works as it goes outward. I don't like the idea of it continuing to expand outward. I'm not going to tell you my personal opinion on whether or not it's the right move in terms of strategic configuration, but I will say that the reason why they're doing it is purely mathematical, purely a calculation of jockeying position, who's going to control this or that. To some extent, I think Donald Trump probably feels justified because of the gassing, but whether they set up the gassing and then he uses it to justify, or whether he's reacting because it's a good situation, you and I can't know that. And you can't trust the media to tell you the truth. You can't trust the alternate media from the internet to tell you the truth. As long as you understand the why, the real why, about the extension of the sure, then you can go on with your life and understand what is the meaning of it. Once I figured out everything I needed to know about 9/11, it gave me peace, because then I understood the situation. Now, if you can't find peace that way, then I recommend that you go and you go hiking, go take care of you first, and then later on, step back, take a look, and decide what you want to do. Do you want to support what's happening? Do you not want to support? Do you think that what Trump did was good, except he should have used Congress to declare war? I can't answer these questions for you, and everything's getting jumbled, and it's going to get more jumbled. This is the key point. It's going to get more jumbled and more crazy out there. So you've got to know where you come down, what you feel about it, and don't let your decisions be guided by the emotions of what the media wants you to think, or what various people want you to think and feel. Instead, take a look at the situation all around, evaluate it energetically, and then make your decision. Okay, I hope that helps you on some level on this day, which is Friday in April, cold Friday in April, and it's just passage of things, more things to pass through your system. And I pray for those who are out there and are suffering, or could be involved in war, or soldiers that could be sent. God bless you, and stay positive, and